How I exert power over you is by making you think the way I want you to think. By making you see what I want you to see. Okay? So if I can make you see these shadows and make you think it's real, then that's what true power is. And this idea, once you understand it, explains the reality that we live in. Okay? So I'm going to take this idea and apply it to reality and show you how it works. So at the very basis of reality is the empire. Okay? It is the American empire that's able to force you to sit down and look at the wall. Then the people manipulating the fire, casting the shadows, are the game masters. And these are the financial elite, okay? Including the Bank of International Settlements, the Federal Reserve, Wall Street, City of London. Basically, private capital. Okay? They together create the conditions for this game. They're able to direct our attention. Okay? And the mechanism they do this with is, of course, with capital, okay? Or US dollars. And then the game they create is something called the global economy, of course, right? The global economy. But in order for this game to work, the game masters have to disguise the fact that they're really in charge. So they create institutions that pretend to be objective, international, and impartial and fair, but are in fact controlled by the game masters. These are include, of course, the UN, the WTO, the EU, the World Bank, okay? Lots and lots of these organizations. And then, in order to justify and legitimize this system, in order to make you think these shadows are real, media, education, and culture brainwash you, indoctrinate you into believing this system is real, when it's all just a hallucination, okay? And then from this, of course, you have the legal system to enforce the system, as well as customs and habits, values, and norms. Okay, so this is an enforcement mechanism to force you to believe that the system is real. Okay? Media, education, culture brainwashes you to believe the system is real, and then you yourself want to enforce the system on others through customs and norms. Okay? Now, this is a very fragile system, because it's all just a hallucination. So there are enforcement mechanisms, okay, that make sure this system is stable. And these enforcement mechanisms are crime, intelligence, spies basically, spy networks, and science. Okay? And these three mechanisms are controlled by the true powers of this world. And they include transnational capital, basically private capital, secret societies, and elite families. And what binds them together, they're basically software. Their operating system is what we call the occult. Okay? And we'll study more about the occult later on. All right. Okay, so this is how the world is designed. Again, this is all a hallucination. One thing that you don't appreciate about the system is that from this hallucination, I can actually project myself onto another force and create another hallucination. Okay? And that's what Richard Nixon did. From this system, in order to maintain the empire, in order to maintain the supremacy of the US dollar, okay, he created two new hallucinations. And they are the GCC and China. Okay? GCC and China. Right? So what underpinned this system before was gold.